Welcome to my channel. I'm the covered call guy, and my goal is to create $120,000 per year passive income portfolio using only covered call ETFs. Right now, my portfolio yields about $72,000 a year, $6,000 a month, $1,400 a week, and about $200 per day. This video actually kind of relates to my journey and where I'm at, what goal I'm trying to reach, how I got to $72,000 a year. I'm starting to see some comments on every other video asking me about my yield, how much do I have, how did I get here, how did I get here so quickly, my time frame, and I'm gonna tell you, it's really no secret. For those who live in the United States and Americans, um, I I basically earned under $25 an hour for like most of my 20s until I was like 27. I didn't reach $50,000 a year. From 27 to 28, I went from 50 to 65. 28 to 29, I went from 65 to like 72. And then 20, 28, 29, 30, that was the longest jump. It took me finally from those 3 years to bump me up to $100,000 a year. And then now I'm making a little over $100,000 a year. Not a little, but like 100 and about 120, 130, give or take. After taxes, just bringing home around 100, right? I pay like 30 grand a year in taxes. So yeah, I mean, this is my secret, really. I mean, it's no secret, but this is how I achieved, for most of my like wealth. Now what you're seeing is just what I have built, and now I'm just pretty much doing my best to speed run things, right? So, if you're 18 and you found my channel, this is the way. This is the way to build wealth, and this is how I did it. How I was able to invest so much, I'm gonna give you the unsexy truth about building wealth. It is simple, it is easy, but really, it's all about you. It's all about discipline. Wealth is a process, not moments, right? Don't borrow money to buy luxury. Wealth is a process, not moments. And my picture did load. I don't know why it did not load now, but it was just a picture of basically, you know, luxury cars, right? What I mean by that is gambling looks exciting because it compresses time. It tricks you into thinking that all you need is that one big win, but it's rigged against you. The house always wins. And of course, you're gonna have some wins here and there, but it's not gonna be enough. You're gonna spend more time, energy, and money winning all of that just to break even, right? Wealth building looks boring because it expands it, right? Here's a system to invest heavily and build unstressful wealth. When you're starting out with nothing, you don't want to be buying things you don't need. When you are starting out, you want to lock in, zone in, and you want to compound as fast as possible. And that is not gambling, not buying things you don't need, right? You don't need luxuries. You need the basics, bare necessity in life, really. That's how you really build upon, especially if you're not a high income earner, right? If you don't start out making, entry level salary at like 70, 75, 80, 85, you're once after those taxes and you paying all your bills, what do you have left, right? So the starter the not the sooner you start, the easier it is, right? Don't borrow money to buy luxuries. Debt backed consumption is negative compounding. You're going backwards, man. You're supposed to be moving forward, right? You're walking backwards. Research confirms that debt operates on the same exponential principle as investment growth, but in reverse. If you're compounding 7% a year, you could be compounding 7%, 10%, 15% a year in debt. When you borrow to consume, you activate negative compounding, where interest payments act as a guaranteed negative return on your capital. This behavior is often driven by conspicuous consumption, the purchase of goods specifically to signal social status. How many people do you know that are driving BMWs that should be driving a used 10, 15-year-old Honda or Toyota, right? These are actual studies. Studies suggest that individuals with lower verified wealth feel a stronger compulsion to signal success through visible goods, effectively paying a status tax that prevent them from ever actually becoming wealthy. The trap here, borrowing 50K at 7% for a car that loses 15% value annually, creates a wealth gap of over $80,000 compared to investing that same payment. You have to have that mindset. I mean, that's what's gonna make you different. The more you associate with these people that have this mindset where they're borrowing money to buy luxuries or just spending everything and not actually investing in their future, thinking they could just have more time, well, you know, 3, 4, 5 years down the line, you're gonna be like, oh man, I really should have not gone down this path. Rule 2, treat credit like debit card. Eliminate the behavioral tax. The credit card premium is a documented psychological phenomenon where consumers are willing to pay significantly more, sometimes up to 100% more, when using a card versus cash. This occurs because credit decoups the pleasure of buying from the pain of paying. By treating credit like debit, only spending what you currently have in your checking account, you reintroduce the pain of payment. This is a real thing. It actually affected me for a while. This simple behavioral rule allows you to utilize the security and rewards of credit cards without falling into the trap of revolving debt, which is how banks generate nearly 43% of their industry income. Now I get the argument for those who's going to say, but credit card is actually worth it. And I agree with you if you use it properly. Those points, those reward, right? The cash back, 100% agree with you. I have a Fidelity credit card. I get two. I get a flat 2% cash back on everything, every day, on anything. 2% cash back. I make sure though, I'm still spending within my limit. I'm not just swiping just to swipe. A lot of people do that. I have a budget. I don't go over it, and sometimes if I do, I'll have extra cash on the side. But once I use that cash, the next month I make sure I spend. I deduct from the amount of my credit card when I pay off my balance, right? And that's how I kind of rebuffer. Or I overspent this month. The next month is gonna have to decrease by this amount, and then I reset. That is a rule. That's how you should treat it. Don't overspend. Credit cards is so easy to overspend. Rule 3. If you can't buy it twice, don't buy it. And that's an actual quote from Jay-Z, right? This is a liquidity stress test. Popularized in modern culture by figures like Jay-Z. There's a quote I took it from. He actually said that. Right? This rule forces you to maintain a 50% capital buffer on any discretionary purchase. It reframes affordability. Just because you have the money in the bank doesn't mean you can afford to spend it. I have the money to buy a Rolls Royce. Does that mean I should buy it? No, right? If a purchase wipes out your liquidity, you are fragile. This rule ensures that you never leverage your safety net for a luxury. It also acts as a powerful filter for impulse buying. The time required to save double the cost often allows the emotional impulse to fade, saving you from buyer's remorse. A car is a car, but of course, people like that BMW logo, people like the Mercedes logo, people like the Lexus logo. Humble yourself, right? Until you're actually able to make 6 figures passively, don't act like you're a 6 figure person. You're not. Humble yourself. It's really that simple. I mean, at the end of the day, if you get fired and you can't support yourself, you don't be needing you don't need any of this stuff. Make investing a habit. Consistency beats hard work. Frequency beats intensity. Wealth is rarely built by big brain market timing, which often mimics the psychology of gambling. Gambling offers variable rewards and excitement that compress time, making you lose track of risks. True investing is often described as watching paint dry, and that is true, right? It relies on the 1% rule, where small, boring, and consistent improvement accumulate into massive advantages over decades. Automation is key here. By removing the decision to invest, you remove the reliance on willpower, ensuring that your capital compounds uninterrupted. The moment you interrupt it, you stop the progress and you basically starting over again, right? So really, This is probably the hardest route, making it a habit. In the beginning, I was pretty inconsistent, but yeah, once make a goal for yourself and don't make it big. Make a goal for yourself. My goal was like only $5,000 a year, and then when I blew past that, I was like, whoa, this is actually easy. I was almost hit $10,000 a year, and then from 10,000, try to double it, make it 20,000, make it 15,000, right? Depending on where you're at. 5,000, $3,000 a year is completely fine. If that's all you can do, if that's the best you can do, absolutely fine, right? I'm just trying to have nice round numbers here. I'm saying $10,000, and for those, I know some of you can easily push past $10,000. The more you put, the faster it is, the faster it grows. It's that simple. Spend money to make more money, and don't take it the wrong way, right? Rich people buy capacity, not toys. There is a fundamental difference between an expense, which depreciates, and an investment, which generates capacity. A wealthy individual spend money to buy time, right? Outsourcing low value tasks or acquire tools that increase their earning power, human capital if you're in a business, right? So apply that to stocks, right? This also applies to good leverage. I always talk about leverage is being bad, but if you know what you're doing, if you know how to handle it, it's good leverage, right? While consumer debt destroys wealth, strategic leverage, which is borrowing to increase buying power for productive assets, can amplify returns. The goal is to spend capital on things that widen your gap between income and expenses, rather than things that closes it. Which is why I always say, don't let your money sit idle. Always put your money to work. You don't have to be constantly investing it. Putting your money to work also means high yield savings account, not a CD. I don't want you to lock up your money. I prefer that you don't lock up your money. That's just me. Not financial advice, but I don't think you should lock up your money unless the rates were that good. I'm talking about near either double digits or near double digits. And at that point, it's pretty much. It's. I don't think we'll be seeing that, but yeah. We talk about um treasury T-bill ETFs that I made a video on, right? You could do that. However it is, you could just leave it in your brokerage and collect the interest that they give. However it is, it's fine. But don't let your money sit and do absolutely nothing. Alright? This is probably one of the harder rules too. But it's it's something that you kind of have to force yourself. This is the automation part, that if you can't do it, like, this is the automation part. Invest $20 of every $100 you earn. Of course, not everybody's able to do that. If you can only do $5 or $10, then that's what it is, right? So I'm using $20 because it's kind of a round number. It's easier to see out of 100, right? 1/5. Income can fluctuate. Discipline cannot. And that is what's really the most important part. As I mentioned it in the beginning of the video, discipline. Discipline beats everything else. And no matter how hard you work, the market doesn't care how hard you work. It's all about discipline. Right? So adopting a fixed savings rate such as 20% creates a forced margin of safety. This ensures that your lifestyle always lags behind your income, preventing lifestyle creep. And for those who don't know what lifestyle creep is you make 50,000 this year, next year you get a new job, a new raise, or whatever it is, a promotion, you make $100,000. Now you went from spending $50,000 a year, now you want to buy a new car upgrade, now you're spending $100,000 a year. And then next year you get another promotion or new job or whatever happens, now you make 150. But since you're making 150, now you want to upgrade. Now, not even upgrade the car. Now you want another car. Now you have two cars for no reason. Whatever it is, you're spending $150,000. That's lifestyle creep, right? So research indicates that your saving rate is more important than your absolute income in determining when you retire. Remember, I said retirement isn't an age. Retirement is a financial number. It is a number. You pick it. Whatever you're at in life, your lifestyle, You get to pick it, whether it's 300,000, 400,000, 500,000, 700,000, a million. That's entirely up to you. A person saving 50% of modest income will reach financial independence significantly faster than a high earner saving only 5% because the former has learned to live on less while saving more. Simple as that. Sounds complicated, but it's not. And this is just a scenario, right? The 20% rule, 10-year growth, right? Based on investing 20K a year, 20% of 100,000, right? I'm assuming you earn 100,000 and you can invest 20% of it at a 7% annual return versus 0% savings. So impact of consistency, you see the small habits compound into massive outcomes, right? And then in year 10, you got $300,000. And this is just assuming at a 7% annual return. Now, if we talk about cover call ETFs, we can earn, for the most part, we can kind of compound anywhere from 8 to 12, 8 to 14%. Now you can go ahead and cut that or double this number, right? At 7%, at 14%, you have 600,000 at year 10. And you might, and I'm not even, and this is just you investing your money, not just compounding your own. I don't think I factored that one in. So easy. Look, it could reach a million easily. That's it. That's all I did. I mean, there's no secret to this. It's as simple as it can get. I mean, uh, you, I post. I'm gonna be posting all of my buys. Um, I will probably be posting all of my buys at the end of every month, hopefully. December. I already posted some for December, right? Yeah, December. Depending on how much I overspent, because it's Christmas, so I overspent a little bit just for some gifts. So I won't have too much to spend this month or to invest this month. But starting January, the New Year's, I'll be resetting. But I'll be posting my buys and my investments, and at the end of every month, I'll take a screenshot, and you're gonna see I do it consistently on a consistent basis. I do anywhere from $4,000 to $10,000 a month, just depending on the amount I need to save and whatever bills come up, cause life happens. But thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe, comment, like, and join the Wealth Brothers Club, aka my channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for leaving those positive comments, of course. And I appreciate all of you guys. But this video really, uh, there's no secret, right? The secret sauce is you. It's all on you. Whether you work at McDonald's to manager at Walmart, it doesn't really matter. I mean, like I said, for the most part of my life, I earned about 50, 60K a year. So it's up to recently I make 130, 140 a year. So it's really not that hard. Really, it's not. It's just discipline. So thanks for watching, guys. Catch you guys on next. Stay tuned.